Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. This week's content, we are doing our last pack restricted builds for the series. These are of course the get to work builds. This was the first pack that came out for The Sims 4 and I believe that it was announced recently that it's been out for about 10 years or so. I didn't really check in the exact date of it, but this is a pack that it took me a couple of years to buy this particular pack. I never really had an interest in it. I think the first expansion pack that I bought was it City Living? Oh no, Cats and Dogs, sorry. Would have been Cats and Dogs and then City Living, and then I just bought the newer packs from there. So I experienced this a bit later on in my Sims journey, and I guess, the gameplay is super fun. Obviously, some things are a bit buggy with it being the first ever expansion pack that we did get, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. And I think from a building standpoint, this is such a foundational pack for anyone who wants to build community lots. So in this particular build, we are building like a cafe type bakery lot. And I'm using the infamous cupcake machine that comes with base game, and just like a standard pot of coffee. But, you know, the counter, the cash register, these displays, all of that comes from Get to Work. And actually Get to Work has some items that I think I've definitely slept on. And I think it's definitely one of those packs where I totally forget that items like that come from there. Like, for example, these bookcase items were beautiful. I really liked them. I thought that they fit in this type of space quite well. And a lot of the windows and doors, they have these beautiful French doors that come with this pack that I've used in Thursday's video, which are very quite elegant and I really like them. So this particular cafe, you just walk in, you have your main seating area, your counter area, you have a small bathroom off to the side. You then have like a staff back entrance back where the counter is, and you'll see in a minute, but we don't put much in the back of this property. And then on the side, we have an outdoor seating area. So we have a beautiful like courtyard where there's lots of chairs and whatnot for the patrons to sit. So I wanted this little bay window area, and I just thought that this was such a cute little cafe. Obviously, because it is a certain lot type, I had to make sure that I had all of the necessary items. It is under the retail lot type. If I was using all the other packs, I would obviously label this as a cafe, and this would go perfectly with the get together content that we were using last week. I would have loved to have combined it, and then obviously it would have been a proper cafe. But, you know, it's not too bad. So let's talk about the actual build and buy and what we think, because that is the whole purpose of what we've been doing over the last couple of months, is determining whether we like it or not. I like it. I think that it's moderate. I don't think it's super strong. I think it's very specific. I think that it has its role in the catalog, which, you know, if you're someone that builds a lot of community lots or wants to build a lot of community lots, there are staple items that come with this pack. So for example, like the hand towels and hand sanitizer item, I use that in pretty much every community lot that I build. It's just such a staple item. And then, you know, obviously the cash register and things like that. And there's just other items that it does really fit that theme. And then in Thursday's video, so Thursday's video is a clothing store. I did a retail clothing store, and it's a very kind of modern, sophisticated building, very different to what we are doing today. And one of the things that I really loved about the build and buy that came with Get to Work is they have these modern items that, to be honest, you could use them in normal builds, and I totally forget about them. I really love, there's this like a lounge set that is really quite nice and quite different, and I always forget to use it. All right, so we are just outside and I am mapping out that outdoor area. And this is where I kind of wanted to add a lot of street appeal to the build. And I was trying to add things that definitely took it away from being residential. So I have this thing that I do with community lots where I'm so used to building a house that sometimes my builds look too residential and not like a proper, like a proper community lot. And I do get house vibes when I do look at this bakery, but I think with the exterior, I think, and obviously the courtyard at the front, I think it definitely does look like a community lot. And yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. I wanted to put in a lot of color at the front of the build. I do fix that planter plot at the front of the window, don't worry. And then yeah, at the back, I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to put too much. So I've just extended that porch, and you'll see later I put some crates and boxes that kind of like imply that, potentially there had been a stock delivery or something. And yeah. Color scheme wise, I think we do go with the red in the end. I am chopping and changing the color scheme of the exterior. That was the one thing I struggled with this type of build, was the color scheme. I'm much better with color scheme of houses than I am with community lots, that's for sure. But it works out in the end. I did really enjoy all the little decals. And that's the other thing, like, there are signs and signage and stuff, and all of those things make it seem very realistic for a community lot. So I did enjoy those items. So I am just in the stage of adding the final touches to the actual decorating of the spaces, changing the color scheme. And I think I'm putting in, so I'm just changing the windows that I've used. Some of the windows are those really modern type windows, which are lovely. But I feel like these base game wooden windows, I feel like they fit better. I had to put in a sign. So I put in some signs, and this is kind of what makes it feel like a bakery, and I really love those signs. And obviously all that stuff is very thematic and it's very specific to what you are building. And then I saw these items. So these are like these giant plant bush items in these stone pot plants. I love these. I totally forgot we had them. And I think I've used them in both builds this week because I just enjoy them so much. I put some hand towels and the sanitizer, like I mentioned, and then I found a sign, and I thought this would be really cool as like, a sign for the business. And then I love this little trolley cart. That's one of my favorite items. And then I totally forgot to put the cupcake machine. So I pretty much did 80% of the build and didn't put the primary item that we need to actually make the cupcakes. So this particular build is available on the Sims 4 gallery if you would like to download it. My gallery ID is Antoinette44. It is in the description below if needed. We are just finalizing this build, so we will be going into the bathroom, and I had to extend the back porch to add in those boxes. So just fixing the roof line, and the exterior of the build, I just went in with a very plain brick and sliding, which again probably does make it look a little bit more residential, but I still like it. I think it's such a sweet space. And then I thought I absolutely love these red umbrella tables. I think that they pair well with the pathing. I know that's a weird statement to make, but I feel like it does. It pairs well with the brick. I then add in another kind of a bench, and just move the signing around. I really love that outdoor space. I think it's so pretty. And then we do just add some bushes just to kind of add something around the side here. We've got the bin around the side here. And I think I just need to add some terrain paint, and then the exterior will be done, I believe. And then just gone in with a plain wallpaper, nothing too fancy in here. I do decide to put in a backsplash because I think that's a bit fun. And I use the same tile in the bathroom. We did get one plant, well, we got two, but the bigger plant we saw outside, which I love, but the smaller plant that we got inside, it's not my favorite. Again, it kind of has that faux false green type texture plant that I'm not a big fan of. But I, thought to use it, added a sink into the kitchen space. And I think I'm just, adding some paintings. We did get a lot of artwork with this pack. That's a painting that's obviously from a poster from the clothing store, which we do end up using in Thursday's build. And we are just moving into the final room, which is the bathroom. Gone in with that terracotta tiles to kind of complement the checkered tile. And yeah, very simple bathroom. It was interesting. It was a bathroom where I didn't know, because we didn't have stalls. And that was the one thing that I wish we had with this pack, would be like bathroom stalls, but we got those much later in university, I believe. So I ended up putting a shower. It's probably not realistic, but I had the space. So yeah, apologies if that looks a bit odd. All right, we are live in game. I think, do we start outside or we go inside? Nope, we go inside. All right, so this is just an open floored space. You've got lots of dining. I really like the 4-seater dining at the front of the bay window. And you've got a nice little bathroom, that little outback staff area. I just realized I didn't put any terrain paint, so we're going to go around with some terrain paint and just kind of add the final touches to that exterior. And it obviously just makes it look so much more put together. You can kind of see that outdoor area, those beautiful pot plants that I really like, the seating areas, the sign. I just love that. I just feel like you could be out there with your pets and stuff, and it would just be such a pretty place. And that's the build today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.